What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm coming at you all with another Broken Lizard review, and today I'm going to be talking about Club Dread. So this was a first time watch for me. I I don't know how I haven't checked this out sooner because I'm a big Broken Lizard fan. I've seen quite a few of their movies and I love a lot of them, and I'm a huge slasher movie fan, a huge horror movie fan, and this movie is like a slasher spoof, and you know, it's like right up my alley. I don't know how I never checked it out, but yeah, I'm glad I checked it out. It was a pretty darn good time. I didn't absolutely love it. I mean, there's other Broken Lizard movies that I like more, but overall I thought it was a pretty enjoyable movie. There were some funny moments. It was kind of a entertaining whodunit mystery, and even though it was a slasher spoof, the horror elements were actually pretty good. Like there were like legitimately some good kills in this. So yeah, it was overall, pretty darn good time. So before I get too deep into the video, I'm gonna give you all a little plot summary. So the movie takes place on this island resort that's run by this retired musician named Coconut Pete, and he's actually played by Bill Paxton, which, I mean, Bill Paxton, he's a huge name. He's been in all kinds of stuff. I really like remember him from Weird Science. He played like the older brother Chet, but he's been in countless movies, so it was cool to see him. But anyways, yeah, his character runs this island resort, and all of the Broken Lizard comedy troupe members, they play various workers at the resort. One guy's like the resident masseuse, one guy's a tennis instructor, you got the DJ. This one guy, he's just like the fun police, he gets it going, and then Steve Lemmy's character Juan, he's like the dive instructor. So you got all these instructors there. The resort, it's kind of like a party resort. You have all these young people. They're, getting intimate, doing drugs, sipping drinks. So everyone is pretty much having a beautiful time at this resort on this beautiful vacation getaway. But then there's some unknown killer who starts picking people off, so they gotta survive and try to find out who the killer is. So that's the basic plot summary. Just so you know, I think I'm like a little bit under the weather. I think I'm kind of sick, so my voice and my energy might not be the greatest in this video. So yeah, if you all do notice that, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the first point that I want to get into is I really liked the setting, and the film overall was okay. So this was their first movie after Super Troopers. So they did, Puddle Cruiser in 1996. Then Super Troopers came out in 2001, I believe. Club Dread came out in 2004 and was their first movie after Super Troopers. So Super Troopers had a $3 million budget. This had a budget of 8.6 million, and you could definitely tell like this was just bigger scale. The location was beautiful. I think it's the island resort is set in Costa Rica, but they filmed in Mexico. But the island setting was fantastic, and the location was absolutely beautiful. Another thing that I like is, Broken Lizard. They generally always do comedy movies, but I don't know, this was kind of different, and I like how they're like all of their movies for the most part are pretty different. Like they're not scared to try new things. I mean, the only time they really kind of like retread older material was when they did Super Troopers 2, but that didn't come out until I believe like 2018 or somewhere around there. So it's not like they just went like Super Troopers and did the sequel right away. Like they're just like, you know what, let's try different stuff, let's take a risk. And I kind of like that about their filmography. They're always, you know, doing drastically different stuff. They're not just like resting on their laurels like, oh well, we have one big hit, so let's just make 50,000 sequels. But I mean, if they do put out a Super Troopers 3, like I'll see that right away. But yeah, I like how they're always doing different stuff and taking risks. This was definitely like a different movie in their filmography. They don't have another movie like it, so it was a cool change of pace. Now I'm gonna get into some funny moments, and here's the deal with this movie. I thought there were quite a few funny moments, but this movie is not as funny as other movies in their catalog or other TV shows. Like this movie's not as funny as something like Super Troopers, and you know, I always go back to that because that's like their kind of like their most famous movie. They're probably sick of hearing about that. Like everyone only wants to talk about that movie, and it's like we did all these other movies, but I don't know. I feel like that is like one of their best movies, so it's like a good comparison. Like this, like Club Dread is not as funny as that, but it does have quite a few funny moments. Even like, okay, Tacoma FD. I know it's not like all the Broken Lizard people, but I'm still gonna consider that like a Broken Lizard property. Like Tacoma FD is funnier than this, but that's like a TV show, so it's hard to compare because you know they have countless episodes. You know they have like way more time to be funny. But yeah, this was funny, but it wasn't one of their funniest movies. But I did find a lot of stuff enjoyable. I'm just gonna go over some funny moments. So there's this one moment where the killer is chasing this one girl and she's trying to get away in a golf cart, and the killer is just like slowly walking next to her in this golf cart. That was hilarious. The tennis instructor, when he is being pursued by the killer, he just whips out his racket and starts hitting the killer with tennis balls. The massage instructor who's played by Kevin where is it? Yeah, Kevin Heffernan. He's like the massage guru, and he can hit all these crazy pressure points, and he just like he'll like tap people on the face and just make them orgasm. I thought that was pretty funny. Steve Lemmy's character Juan, they're like suspicious of him because they find out he was incarcerated, and then he eventually comes clean and tells everyone why he was incarcerated, and it's because he like grew up on a farm and had sex with a goat. And then basically something else that's funny about his character, there's this girl Penelope, in the whole movie he's calling her Penelope. I don't know, like that was just like a small little detail, but I don't know, that was just pretty funny to me. And then when the killer is eventually revealed, they're like, why'd you do it? And the killer, like his initial motivation was absolutely hilarious, and he's like, oh wait, no, that I forgot, that wasn't my real motivation, this was my motivation. But yeah, he has this like, he goes into this story of his initial motivation, and it's like the funniest thing ever, so that was great. And then another thing that I liked about this movie is, you know, I like the whodunit aspect. There's so many instances where you think the killer could be this person, it could be this person. I feel like they did the whole whodunit mystery element very well, and I was definitely entertained. It kept me on my toes. I was constantly guessing. And I like how, okay, like I said, all of the characters, they're these different instructors at the resort, and they all have a different skill set. Later on in the movie, they all like really utilize their special skills in order to survive and best the killer. So I thought that was really really cool, and I don't know, I like how like the characters' attributes actually played into the story. Like it made sense, it worked. I don't know. I like that. That was a nice little touch. And then the last point that I want to get into is, you know, even though this is just a slasher movie spoof, the kills were actually good. I wasn't expecting that. It's just, it's a spoof movie. I didn't expect the kills to be decent. Like I didn't expect them to put any effort into the kills, but there was a great variety of kills. There was actually some good gore, some good practical effects, and I was very pleasantly surprised. To be 100% honest, I watched so many very low budget slasher films. The the kills in this movie were better than in some like actual slasher movies that are trying to be serious slasher movies. Because some of the like real low budget slasher movies, they'll just have like all cutaway kills or super lame kills or like terrible practical effects. Like the kills in this were honestly better than a lot of legit slasher movies. Like not better than like the top tier big budget slasher movies, but definitely better than quite a few slasher movies that I've seen. So yeah, and then just going over my favorite kill. So there's this DJ character. His name's Dave, and he's played by Paul Soter. And that you see like the aftermath of the kill. It's like a decapitation, and when everyone finds him, his head, like since he's like a DJ, his head is just like spinning around the turntable, and there's like blood coming out of his eyes, blood dripping down his neck and stuff. That was like my favorite kill, but there were quite a few good creative kills. So yeah, that was the last point I want to go over. So I'm gonna get into my little recommendation and head out. So you know what? I thought it was a good movie. Like I said, it's not one of my favorite Broken Lizard movies, and I don't think it's as funny as some of their other films. But even though it wasn't the funniest or one of the funnier movies out of their catalog, there was some fun to be had. There were some funny moments. I like how they did something different. I'm a big horror movie fan, so I like how they did a slasher spoof. The setting was great. It was, you could tell it was like a bigger budget endeavor. So yeah, overall, this was a good movie. If you're a fan of slasher movies, if you're a fan of comedies, if you know about Broken Lizard, which a lot of people do. I mean, Super Troopers and Beer Fest are like super famous. Like, I mean, everyone knows about those. So if you're a fan of Broken Lizard, you should definitely check this out. So yeah, I would recommend this movie, and it just came on Tubi. So who knows how long it's gonna be on there. So yeah, definitely check it out on Tubi before it leaves. But yeah, that's my little recommendation, and this has been my review of Club Dread. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.